Yo, ma.
Welcome to How Do You Say Yaros. Today we're going to talk about
New Year's resolutions.
Yeah.
Now, the interesting part in this, if you're looking at this one, this is going to be talked about in February, but we're talking about this now in December. So, January, forget you. But we're talking about this topic. What do we resolve to do in this new year, in this 2020?
Or do we resolve to do anything?
Or you're going to regress. In fact, you're going to choose to do less this year. That'd be an interesting one.
I don't know if that's regressing. Choosing to do less.
Or you're going to take a step back. Hey,
Yeah.
I was going for my master's degree. I'm just going to get a bachelor's now. Or I'm going to forfeit that. Or actually, that'd be an interesting, because it's going to be an election year, that'd be an interesting campaign slogan. We pledge to do less. We always hear politicians say they're going to do so much for us. I'm going to do less.
I'm going to do the same amount.
I'm going to do the same amount that you're accustomed to,
No more,
less.
no less.
Yeah. That taxes will be increased at a moderate 0.5%.
That's right.
And, you're going to be equally angry, but you won't be more angry.
That's right.
Where are we at?
What a promise.
That could be worse. I've heard worse. I feel like it might be more accurate.
All right. Do you make a New Year's resolution?
Yes and no.
Okay.
What
does
do
that
you?
mean? No, I don't. Typically, I do not.
Okay.
So what do you mean yes and no?
Well, maybe for in a lack of a better term, you could call it a resolution.
Okay.
But it's not the I'm going to stop smoking tomorrow resolution.
Okay.
Mine is it's more of a goal for the year. I want to do more of this, but also taking a thoughtful approach to this.
Okay.
So it's what's real? What am I actually going to do? And what am I not going to do? It's kind of I'm going to be in the gym every day. And then, that's a failure. That's not reality.
All right.
But this year I do want to be more physically fit. So I'm going to work on these areas on how to do that.
So do you make them specific or do you make them very general?
Oh, I want to be specific.
Okay.
Because I think ambiguity has this. So just noticing even from talking with people and so I see this at work or other times, you're talking about an idea, you're talking about a project, and if you get an ambiguous answer, your results are going to be ambiguous.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, we're going to do this. Okay, so what do we do with that? When does that need to be implemented? How do we need to implement that? So it's almost if you're talking that you want to do something, you want to do this. So yet again, the classic, hey, I want to be in better shape in 2020. Okay, that's something. How are you actually going to achieve that? So my goals would instead include I want to systematically, my goal is and it's not always successful, but you have to have a plan on how you're going to achieve that.
What would you break that down into?
So hey, I'm not going to eat snacks after 7:00 at night.
Okay.
Which is good for weight loss. I'm going to commit to exercising 3 to 4 times a week.
Okay.
And try to not eat and drink more water or whatever it is.
Very nice.
That's
very
not
nice,
actually a specific one, but it's
very nice.
Okay. Hey, I want to be more physically fit in 2020.
Gotcha.
I mean, that can just mean that you run a quarter mile more. That's not really achieving anything.
Right.
But it's okay. Otherwise, now you have some detailed plans of how you're going to do that.
Okay, I like it.
That.
All right. And
what
do you? This is also interesting to me. Do you write down goals or do you just have them in your head?
I write them down, but I always forget to look at them.
Ah.
So I'm not great at this.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I know I have specific things I want to do.
They're in a notebook, but they're not taped to your mirror or something.
No, this year they will be though.
Oh,
or
they're
not
gonna be taped to your mirror?
Not necessarily. I'm gonna have them in my Bible.
Oh, very nice.
So kind of
okay,
they're
very nice.
a little, but so previously I'm a youth pastor, so I work with teens.
Right.
Many years in the past on the first youth service of the year, I have them do New Year's resolutions.
Oh, you have, yeah.
Yeah. So not yet again, going on my definition, but so instead it's
it's
hey,
goals.
It's kind of but also detailed plans in a sense. So mine is we talk about mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional. Mental, physical, mental, physical, social.
Oh,
so
yeah,
social,
relational.
relational. How are you going to be and you can say, hey, I want to be with people more this year. Yet again, extremely vague. How are you going to actually achieve that? So mine in other years was, I'm going to have coffee with 5 brand new people this year, or whatever.
Right.
So it's okay, hey, I actually have a hardcore way of, I'm going to do this. And for a person, that could be, I'm going to join a new sports team, or I'm going to join a club, I'm going to be at church, or I'm going to commit to say hi to my neighbor, whatever it is.
Yeah. I think guess what's interesting, I guess the whole New Year's resolution thing,
Yeah.
I think it requires a lot of reflection.
Mm-hmm. Do you
Because
consider?
the idea is you reflect on the past year
Sure.
and think about what has gone well, what hasn't, what you want to improve, right?
Yeah.
And then that's where you create potentially new goals for yourself to create change based on your reflections, right?
Sure. Yeah, I would agree. Now, do you consider yourself a reflective person?
I don't know. I never thought about that before. I mean, I enjoy processing things.
Yeah, you're a great processor.
I do like to process things. I typically like to do that. I either like to do it by journaling by myself.
Okay.
But at some point I've got to process it with somebody. I like to verbally process and talk it out.
That makes
so
sense.
I do like to do a little bit by myself at some point maybe, but the greater portion is processing it out, like talking it out with somebody.
Yeah.
So I do like to reflect on things. Yeah, I think I
Okay.
like to reflect on things.
Yeah,
do you like to reflect?
Oh, yeah, I'm a processor too.
You're a processor,
yeah. I like
yeah.
thinking things through.
Yeah, I wonder maybe you're a little bit more prone to reflecting than I am. I think.
Maybe brooding. It would be.
No, but
I'm a
I
brooder.
think you
Angry, disgruntled.
No way. I think maybe you do it more often with different things. Like I don't reflect over everything.
You know, I am.
You reflect more often.
I'm
maybe.
obsessive, and well, you know, if something's actually like effective to me, or affecting me, I will brood on it for endless amounts of time because I think I have the answer.
Right.
But sometimes I'm not able to make that change or do that. So it's very much like I don't understand this, or I'm not capable of and I keep trying to talk myself into rationality, and I can't always.
See, I like to reflect on it to a point, and then when I'm done with it, I like to be done with it, even if I didn't fix it. I'm like, let's move on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think where I have struggles with the New Year's resolution thing, I don't really like. I do this whole reflecting thing, but not December 31st.
Okay, when do you do it?
Before a new school year.
Okay, so you do a New Year's resolution, but before a different year.
I don't do it so structured like you do it, but I do go through a process of my own, very much so, where like the last couple weeks of summer, I'm often bringing up to people around me like, so what are your plans? Like, what are your goals for this year? Like, what do you want to? How did last year go?
I remember that.
I do that, right? Like, I just naturally, like, as the year's approaching, summer's ending, I'm like, you know, having my goals for the rest of summer. I very much want to like eke out everything I can of summer, but then I'm talking a lot about like, what do we plan for this year? What are my goals for this year? How did the seasons go last year? This is what I want to do this year. Maybe I want to switch something. So I definitely think I could benefit from being more structured, but I'm not structured with it. I don't like write it down or anything because I think I also don't want to put a lot of pressure on myself to like, you know, make whatever happen. But I do talk about it a lot, like over and over. Like
you
with
are
people
reflective on it
to kind of like make some ideas of like what I'd like to accomplish. Because in my head, like my new year very much is about the school year. It's based on the school year.
It makes total sense.
Not January, you know, like.
Yeah, which brings up a good point because this is even being aired in January.
Right.
Really, like that could be like more or less because my life is similar with yours on the school year calendar.
Yeah.
And many people's are too. Like, it really like September is really the beginning of the new year in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Like for every student out there.
Like people get new, like they update their wardrobe.
Yeah. Now, I could even see like the beginning of summer being possibly a new year as well.
Sure.
Like, or at least for maybe not us as much, or well, I mean, you have a little bit more with summer off working in a school, but like you have an opportunity to really start like, if you wanted to hammer something out in 2 months, like, hey, say you wanted to become a great reader in that, like you have 2 months off where you really can be a great reader, or like you have the opportunity to learn you could get in great shape, learn a new skill set.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you're. So you are about not necessarily January 31st, and there's no one right way or wrong way to make a resolution or a goal. It's.
I am definitely about, and I practice the idea of like talking about how things have gone, and talking about if you want to make any changes.
Yeah.
I have not personally practiced the process of writing it down and then sticking to that and having someone keep you accountable for those goals. I've never done that.
Yeah, I've not taken
I can't say I've ever done that.
I've not taken mine that far yet either. But I do want to. My goal with even having it more public this year is, or at least like more knowledgeable to me, is I want to make progress on those things. because there are 3 or 4 areas like I know I wanted to do more in last year than and I did not get close to it.
Yeah, it's good.
So it was more of like I forgot about it, got put on the back burner. So, and sometimes that's okay. Like, yet again, it's also ridiculous to think you have to hit every personal goal you have.
Right.
But I think there's a sense of like, could some of those have been hit if I had pushed myself or even just kept that on the foreground?
So how are the ways then to keep it at the forefront of your, like, brain? Like, I like your idea of putting it a place where you're going to see it a lot. So in your Bible, it's really good.
Yeah, partially there. I have maybe a reminder on the phone. So like I've been working on writing a bit, and I keep forgetting to do it.
Yeah.
Or not prioritizing it. Really, I oftentimes remember it during free time.
Yeah.
It's just, okay, I want to do this. The Xbox calls.
Yeah.
Or a book is there.
Yeah, you want to read, yeah.
Or like, it's a day off and you want to chill, but like, you have a bigger project you want to work on too.
Yeah.
So, yeah. How would you consider, like, how would you work towards improving on it, like a given day?
Honestly, I think I would have to tell you, my mom, Caitlin, Liam,
Okay.
my dad. I think that would be my most powerful force.
That'd be cool though, like
just
a community
to tell them,
network.
Be like, check in on me for doing this, because I've done the reminders on my phone and I'm terrible with them.
Oh.
I just push them to the side.
I got you.
I think because I've used it so much for so many different things. Like, I'll use it for work stuff. I'll use it for, like, getting people's gifts. And, like, a lot of times I do push it to the side just because I think I've used it so much.
I got you.
So I think I need, like, an actual person to be like, so, you're doing this. And, because I think I need a person. So that is good. I think the one that I know I have, if you could call it a resolution or a goal or just something I need to do, is to be more consistent in my devotional time with God.
You've done great at that this last year.
Oh, thank you. I think I've improved. I think God's helped me a lot, but I definitely, I think it's a combination of consistency and beefing them up.
Okay,
like getting, like, doing more in them or whatever it is, somehow getting more from them or something. So I think that is something I need to do. That is something I would love if I had that beefed up more. I feel like it would change my life, and I feel like it would benefit me a lot, and I would enjoy it. I just haven't found the right way to do it yet.
That makes sense.
So that would be good. Do you have any that that you want to work on?
I would love to finish my writing project.
Yeah.
So that would be exciting. And I fully believe that is my goal for next year. I think it's very attainable.
Yeah.
But it's more internal consistency, I think, there.
Okay, nice, yeah.
I think that's my big one. The other would be more consistent physical activity.
More consistent.
Like, not bad. I've done well this year, but like kind of working on, I'm going to characterize like working with a better diet plan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, nice.
Like, nothing crazy, but like...
Yeah, nothing restrictive.
I'm a snacker, but I know I shouldn't be eating, like... I'm not 15. I can't be eating all these chocolate chip cookies all the time. And they're delicious, and I love them. But it's like, okay, I know I can't be eating that because, like... Even now, I'm like, I know, like, that's not good. Like, and I'm trying to do this early so it pays good dividends when I'm, like, 40.
By the way, we are currently on our way to Adam's parents.
It's Christmas.
And
it doesn't count.
And we're about to eat the most delicious chocolate chip cookies. I'm so excited.
Oh, me too. Oh, yeah. But it's
that
like...
his dad makes.
Yes. But this isn't, like, to...
Yeah, no,
like,
this is different.
Yeah, like, but this is, like, on the given week.
Right.
Yeah,
on the daily.
Yeah, on the
daily.
Yeah, like, a good party is completely different.
Sure, of course. No, I hear you. That's very good.
I think that those are the two big things. And then even like I'm working, and I've done a lot better in the last year with exercising more.
Yeah,
I've worked really hard at that.
Yeah,
but,
really good.
We've gotten a few pieces of equipment that have helped, and I use them all quite consistently, but now kind of just like solidifying that.
Yeah, you're creating your own kind of gym at home.
Yeah.
It's very good. It's very thoughtful.
Which works. That's like how I'm happy because it's not like I didn't want to make an excuse. So I'm not a gym person in the sense of like I hate the thought of driving to a gym because I feel like I'm wasting time.
Yeah.
Can't do it. It just baffles me. But that's okay. That's like Gabby loves the gym.
Yeah.
But like for me, but if I have a bike and I grew up with like an elliptical in my house, like I have that there. Like I will use that almost every day because I have it immediately available and I could be productive. So I have that, and I have like some free weights, and I use them. So I found the method that works for me, which I think is important too. Like,
It is
like for
wonderful.
hitting a goal is, we see all these like famous people and how they do their things,
I
or your
know.
friend, and it's like, Gabby thrives at the gym. She has some awesome classes she loves being
Yeah.
at. She goes swimming. She does cool things, and she's in great shape. And she does things at home.
Thank you, Adam.
But I'm more of a home person. But there are like many ways to achieve a similar goal.
Yeah, I think that's the hard part with the devotional time.
Yeah.
Because it's like, and maybe, I don't know, that's why it's hard. I need to, as you said, make the goal more specific, maybe, because
Yeah.
I do think that helps. It's just really hard because the way I used to do devotions when I was in college,
Yeah.
that changed, and and now like that might not work, but maybe some pieces of that work. So I think that's like a really hard thing for all these different goals, because actually if someone makes it, let's say you're making the same goal, let's say you're making, actually I made this goal last year to be more consistent with my devotions, and I do think God really helped me like
You did
transform
great.
the time with him, and I still want that to continue. But even I'm at a different place than I was last year, so it's the same goal, but the way I'm gonna have to work at it is going to be different.
Very true.
Which is so weird
Yeah.
for all these goals, right? So if someone made a goal to be healthier, and they made that goal last year, it's very likely that the way they carry out the goal this year is going to be very different.
Exactly. And which
pretty
is
cool.
kind of like figuring out some of the details of those plans.
I like it. Okay, so I think we have we come to the idea that we think there can be positives in these goals?
I think so, and I think it helps like knowing when the season is. So
Yeah.
but is there a better season to really create your New Year's resolutions or your goals? And like maybe the purpose is figuring out what actually works for you.
And I say, actually, even after doing this, because I don't typically spend time talking to people about this type of thing, because I don't always know if I first of all, you got to think of the right person to talk to. But I think it could be nice if you are thinking about making goals, talk to somebody about them, and it'll help you process out what the actual goal is.
Yeah, I think that's a great
Because I
idea.
think by yourself, you might get farther with the person you're with.
I love it.
Yeah, I love it.
Well, good job. And then, friends, we got to tell you, this is the last episode of season 2 of How Do You Say Yarrows.
Ta-da!
So if you've listened to all these, awesome.
Kudos to you.
If you just started on this one, go back and listen to them all. We won't say no to that. But we'll be back soon enough. Right now, actually, speaking of going to my parents, I'm giving them our recording equipment because they're going on vacation in St. Lucia. So my dad's taking the GoPro. So we are on a delay after this, but we are so excited. Thanks for being with us. If you have any ideas, questions, give us a comment below. Make sure to review if you like doing that, or give us the 5-star review. But also, you could email us at howdoyousayyaros@gmail.com. We love ideas for season 3 of the podcast episodes.
Thank you. It's been a blast. Bye.
See you soon. Bye. Bye, Felicia.